Good evening, everybody. This is Simon Holden, the Sheriff of Tippingham, and there is the judge on a very, very sombre Saturday evening, the 10th of September. Well, we're coming to you tonight because tomorrow is the St. Leger, and as you will know, and everyone will be aware, our monarch, the Queen, after reigning for so long, over 70 years, has sadly died, and racing has been suspended for 2 days. But the Leger is going to be run tomorrow. Now, there are people who think it's a good idea and people who think not so good idea. But it is a 9-race card at Doncaster. So, Judge, a very sombre weekend, I'm sure you'll agree.
Very much so, mate. Yeah, very sad. I mean, she's done a wonderful job for such a long time, hasn't she? And racing's going to miss her, to be honest. You know, such an ambassador for the sport. You know, Royal Ascot won't be the same, will it?
No, I think that with the nation in mourning and the shock that people are still feeling, what will come to be seen in time is that racing has lost its greatest supporter, and that may have implications. So, but that is a thought for another day, really. But you know, we think about the horse. Was it that she was going to have the Derby win? We hope that Stouty trained. Cotton House, couldn't do it. But then she had Estimate, I know, which gave her so much pleasure.
That's the one thing. That's my one brilliant memory. You think, you know, obviously she's the Queen, but she was cheering it on like me or you would, wasn't she? It's brilliant. Yeah,
superb. And of course, it's already been announced in the Racing Post and various other sites that the horses and the bloodstock interest will transfer immediately to Princess Anne. So that's good. Yeah, that's good. So the colours, I would think the same colours will remain. But it's a very, very, very sad few days. Been very surprised how touched people have been. Was at Doncaster, and I've got the scars to prove it. Little slippy weather fall there. Somebody fell behind me, causing a domino effect. But it's of no importance considering what we are. As the judge said, we're not going to be too gag heavy tonight or whatever. But it's not the first time I've been stitched up on the town moor. So there you go. So let's look at the Leger. We'll keep it low key, but we do come on here for classics, and we know a lot of you are feeling a bit down, and so we thought we'd come on, do a little Leger preview, quick update on the judges service, and then we'll let you continue your evening. And as I say, they race. Sometimes it's good to come together and celebrate. And Let's Up Doncaster tomorrow is a great celebration of the Queen's life and interest in racing. So let's have a look at the big race, Judge. It is, of course, the final classic of the season. It's the Cazoo St. Leger. Cazoo, a company who seem to sponsor everything that moves these days. So they've stepped forward. It's part of the British Champion Series. It's the fourth and a final classic of the year. It takes place on ground that's good to soft in places. It is, of course, the longest of the classics, coming in at over 1 mile 6. As it stands, 9 runners have stood their ground, and we have a red hot favourite in New London for Godolphin, ridden by Will Buick. What I'll quickly do, judges, I'll go quickly through the betting. There's only 9 runners, top to bottom. Then we'll start and go through the field. So we've got 11 to 10 as we record. Best price New London. We've got Haskoy, ridden by Frankie Dettori. That's second favourite at 5 to 1. Eldar Eldarov, who we'll come to later. I'm certainly very interested in this horse. 13 to 2. Yamal, who after a lot of near misses finally got off the mark last time out at 15 to 2. French Claim for Danny Tudhope at 12 to 1. Emily Dickinson at 20s, and then we get to the 3 outsiders. Gia Valetto at 28 to 1, who has been back today at big prices. Lizzie Jean at 125s, and we've got 200 to 1 shot in El Habib. Now, Judge, the obvious place to start for us is New London. He's a red hot favourite. Many forecast he would go off odds on. That isn't the case at the moment. Now, having spent a couple of days up in Donny, there were some sort of Newmarket faces who were using phrases like penalty kick, will only have to go down and be pointed back, which I think was a little bit overconfident. So what do you think? Is the favourite for the Leger a good thing?
Well, not being Albert Einstein to say he's obviously the one to beat, but he's not my kind of bet, to be honest. I like absolutely every box ticked. I suppose you could argue he has, but what my concern would be the ground, and the fact he is going up in trip. You know, you've got a few question marks, and if you want to take 11 to 10, obviously I think you're a better man than me. I think with the shape of the market, I think you've every chance of having an each way bet against him here. And if you get one in the frame, rather than necessarily the win, you're going to show probably more profit than backing him to win. That's the way I'd like to play the race personally.
Yeah, I can see that, and I know that is your style of betting, and certainly it would be mine as well. So he's won 4 times. I mean, I always think when we're dealing with what people think is a good thing, let's look at the potential holes in his armour, and you've just really created the first one, or validated the first one, and that is the trip. He is not proven on this. And you're right, at this sort of price, Judge, I want to know that the horse is going to stay. He's by Dubai, so he should go with cut. But, of course, the cut in the ground will only extend the stamina needed. And he's shown a lot of basic speed in his races. And this is a stayers. Do I think he's the best horse in the race, classiest horse? The ratings would tell us so. The yard would provide so many winners in group races. However, I do think he's got a few questions to answer, and he wouldn't be for me at that price. You're right. Let's let him win. Let's try and get him beat. And if we come second or third, we can still return a profit. But if you want to back him, you've only got one shot at the target. Now, let's come to Haskoy, who's been the mover in the last 2 weeks. He's still available at 5 to 1. He's the most inexperienced horse in the race by some way. Very, very rare that a horse comes to a ledger, Judge, and he's having his 3rd run. He's trained by Ray Beckett, the brilliant Ray Beckett, and he's booked Lanfranco de Tori. The horse is only rated 105, but he's only had 2 runs to show what he can do. So there's obviously bags of improvement. What do we think of the second favourite here?
Well, I've got to say it's a she, to be fair. But and
sorry,
has,
yes, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm not going. Yeah, she really has shown. Well, she done me on the line last when I was up at York. I backed time lock in that race, and she stayed on very well. She looks like she'd get the trip. She's a sort of horse you think, oh, she's about 12 to 1 sneaky each way. I might have a look at her.
Yeah, exactly.
5 to 1. Oh, you know, I think she's terrible value at that price personally. So not for me. But like you say, if you get double the odds, you think, oh, I might have a little look at her. But she's unbeaten. I think she'll get the trip. She looks like she's a stayer. The way she won at York, she definitely stayed very well. But what's that form really worth in real terms? You know, it's not. You know, they were fillies. You know, for me, I'm going to let her win too, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right, and obviously I didn't say filly there, but by Golden Horn, of course, Beckett. No, the point to make is, of course, Beckett is an absolute genius at training fillies to win classics, is he not? So he obviously has seen something, but I think the market has found this one. We then come to what I will reveal is not the greatest secret in the world. My fancy, and it's a strong one in this race. It's number 1, Eldar Eldarov. Now, before I give my reasoning, what do you think, Judge?
Well, I mean, I'll probably let you explain. I think it's an excellent price. This is sort of horse, funny enough, that's been anti-post shorter, and you can now back him at a bigger price come the day. So it actually becomes a bit of value, to be fair. I mean, you're going to come to that race. The form of the run last time got a big frank today by the run of the French horse in the Champion Stakes. So I think I'd let you sell it a bit more, mate. I like him. He definitely would be on my short list. He should definitely be a shorter price than Haskoy, in my opinion. Yeah.
It's Eldar Eldarov, folks, trained by Roger Vary and ridden by the excellent David Egan. Now, this horse was 3 wins in a row, including at Ascot in the Queen's Vase. He then went to Paris Longchamp for the 1 mile 4 Grand Prix de Paris, which we were talking about before we started recording, me and the judge. That, for me, was a statement of intent by Roger Varian of what he thinks of this horse. He's got beat 5 lengths, but he's got beat by Ernesto, who, again, has franked that form in Ireland today. And what impressed me about that was the way the horse travelled. At that, he was coming back in trip. The ground was good to soft, but there was a lot. you know, it was a typical French Group 1 where they went around casually, they hacked around for the first 6 furlongs, mile before slowly quickening and then sprinting. That race would not have suited Eldar Eldarov with his stamina at all, but he kept tabs on them. He did get done for speed and he did get beat 5 lengths, but these are some of the top 1 mile 2, 1 mile 4 horses in Europe. I think this is a drop, no offense to the Ledger, drop back down in class here today. He goes back up in trip to this trip. 100% he's going to get it. 100 to 1, 100 to 1, 100% he's going to run to the line. He's by Dubawi. I think we're going to see him love this soft ground. He's a great big thing with a round action. And I think whoever beats this horse is going to win. And I'm not sure anything's going to beat him. I think he's rock solid. I think he's classy. I think he's tough. He's proven at the trip. He is everything I'm going to look for. Is he going to be a great Ledger winner? No, but it's not a great renewal, and something has to win. And I would much rather play him each way at 13 to 2 than get stuck into an even money favourite. So there you go, Judge. That is my selection, Eldar Eldarov. Now we come to next in the betting at 15 to 2. It's a horse who was beginning to look like a serial loser, but last time out he finally got his head in front, and that is Huyamal. I think he's going to be a really popular bet tomorrow. What do you think to number 5, trained by the Bowie Yard and ridden by David Probert?
Well, I think this is quite interesting, this horse. Bearing in mind, you know, we're coming back to when we were talking about the favourite earlier on. This horse actually officially rated by the official handicapper a pound better horse than the favourite. And once, you know, so technically you could say he got well beat by New London at Goodwood. That's the kind of funny reason. Huyamal travelled very well in that, and then the jockey lost his whip. He's got a couple of lengths to find. Obviously, it's an extra 2 furlongs. Question whether he really he won over the trip last time. It was a 4-horse race, so you can't be certain he's going to get the trip better. But look, there's worse bets out there. Once again, I think he could run a decent race. I mean, second in the Derby, if he was to produce that form, you know, you'd have to give him some credit. And I think 15 to 2 is more than a fair price. But he's not the one I'm going to be tipping.
I think it's interesting that the connections sound no more than hopeful that he'll get the trip. Do you know what I mean? There's some. You look at the interviews, there's a lot of doubt in there and a lot of like, well, if he doesn't, we can always go 1 mile. Yeah. Seems to me like they're not sure. But I admire them for having a go. I really, really do. Yeah. And if he does get it, you know, like you say, he's going to be a danger to everything.
He's the class horse, isn't he? He's second in a Derby. He's the best. Yeah, you know, that's the best on offer, isn't it? So
yeah, he is. Yeah. We now come to number 3, French Claim, who, as we record, are best price 12 to 1 with Betfred and Billy Hills. I'll let you go first on this one, Judge.
I thought you might. Funny enough, I've looked at the back class of the form. It's run behind Stone Age and the other horse, not Pisbadil. Yeah, Pisbadil. And I think Pisbadil, didn't he finish behind your horse in the Grand Prix de Paris?
Yes, he did. Yeah, not far behind, but behind.
Yeah, I do. A few sirens going on in the background there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're getting into the sort of like the also rounds. I kind of half respect him, especially coming over from Ireland, but not for me really. It doesn't float me boat.
Okay, well, I think you could say he shouldn't be behind Eldar Eldarov, but I think Eldar Eldarov's got a lot more class, a lot stronger form, and I wouldn't double the price to switch to that one. So I'd quite happily put a line through French Claim tomorrow. We then come to Emily Dickinson. Now, Emily Dickinson, trained by Aidan O'Brien for Coolmore, ridden by Sean Levy. It's a big opportunity for him tomorrow. Has only won over 1 mile and 2. Last time out, though, did run over 1 mile and 6 and was third, beaten less than 2 lengths by C. La Rosa at the Lily Langtree Stakes, but was favourite. And there was quite a bit of disappointment that got turned over. But what do you think, Judge? Can you give us more hope at Donny?
Well, I'll give you the 2 hopes. I do think she'll stay. I'm pretty confident and she'll get the trip. So, you know, so if you are going each way, I think you've got that into positive. And also that race at Goodwood was really messy. One went off like a lunatic. And they all kind of left one in front, and it was a funny old race. But once again, the form's not worth a cup of tea. I know Sela Rosa won a Group 2 next time out, but she actually only beat the same horses that she was running against here. You know, Glenartney and yes, got slaughtered in the week at Doncaster. And I don't really think the form's worth much. But you know, 20-1, you now get to the stage where you might start considering a small each way bet, but not for me. I think we're going to come on to the one that I like.
Now you're going to be thinking we've seemed to have gone through most of them, but we've not got to the old judges. So you've only got 3 options. Let's go to the next one. Gia Valetto, ridden by Neil Callan, a winner last time, 28-1. This one trained by Marco Botti in Newmarket. Judge, I'm thinking that this could be you, but you better confirm or deny, my friend.
Oh, definitely my horse here. This is a right funny one. 28-1. We're talking. Bearing in mind, we've just been talking about several horses. We're questioning getting the trip, or will like the ground, or don't look good enough. I mean, this horse is coming from handicaps like originally, like you know, there's some interesting lines here. But if you look at the last run, it's very impressive on fast ground, over 1.6 miles at Newmarket. The form wasn't let down by the second either. The previous run proved it handled soft ground at Haydock in a real red-hot handicap, off a mark, admittedly only off a mark of 92, but got beat half a length when actually it hung its chance away that day. And the previous run, also in big handicaps, it also proved it handled Doncaster. That was over the Ledger trip. So for me, at least it'll get the trip. It'll go on the going. Will it have the class? Well, the one thing I will say is its RPRs have improved run on run on run. And if it was to improve its RPR again by another 3 or 4 pounds, I could certainly see it being in third or fourth. And I think at 28-1, I'm quite happy to take a chance on this horse because at least it's coming to the race in good form, handle the track, likes the going. It ticks all the boxes. So that's what we've been saying, haven't we? So for me, I've got to remember the name of the horse, Gia Valetto. That's my selection.
I can see where you're coming from completely, and I do think if there's going to be a shock tomorrow, this horse really is. You know, the Ledger, you need class, but you also need to be tough. You can be pure class to win a Derby or a Guineas. You know, with a Derby, you've got to get down and dirty and get down the hill, and you've got to battle. But you know, you can often the horse that's just so classier than the others can just do it on pure class. I think with a Ledger, you've got to like graft. It's going to be a long way home when they turn in tomorrow. And this Gia Valetto is proven. And I really think he's going to run a good race here. I think
he's got a good jockey on board. He's had a great year. I mean, so by Master Craftsman, you definitely like it on the soft ground as well. So I think it'd be thereabouts, mate. You know,
if New London wins 10 lengths, great, but you might be second or third and have a 11-2 winner on your hands, haven't you? So, and you never know. Do we need to mention, without being offensive to connections, Lizzie Jean or El Habib?
I hope they run well. I mean, we've had a few 125-1 shots run well recently. To be honest, I would never put anyone off 125-1 chance. You can only end up with egg on your face, but I wouldn't back them myself. That's what I'd say. Me neither. So let's go, let's say we've got Judge each way number 4, Gia Valetto, 28-1. I think there could well be a few quid for this, the old each way big players. And I'm very, very heavy on number 1, Eldar Eldarov, at 13-2. I think he's got an absolutely massive chance, and I'm very surprised he's that price. So that is our Ledger preview. Hopefully you get the winner or at least a couple of places out of that. We'll be back with Judges Duels on Monday. Looking back, I would imagine at Doncaster, both tomorrow and the days that did get run. Now, the Judges Private Service, you can still get involved, and he will be betting at Donny. We know he kicked off with a big winner, and he's got more bets tomorrow. You get there at the top link, £10, one off till the end of September. So your first bets will be at Donny
tomorrow if you join the trial. So many of you are on it. Big thumbs up if you are. You've already been very well looked after. Big sterling profit by this gentleman there, the judge, and he's only going to kick on till well, never ending search for winners, Judge. So
a couple of big prices tomorrow as well. I quite fancy. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so do get involved, folks. I know many of you are, but you can still get involved. Just £10 to the end of September. Now, we'll be back on Monday with Judge's Duels. Look out for your HFC email. Have a big gamble. Thank you for all the kind messages. We had a big winner at Epsom the other day for the Balding Yard when Doncaster was going on. So we keep rolling those winners. 2 14s in one in a row the other week. But we'll be back on Monday. Get involved with the judge if you're not. Enjoy the Ledger Day. Let's make it a celebration of the Queen's fantastic contribution through her life to our wonderful sport of horse racing. And we'll see you very, very soon. Bye for now. Thanks, Judge. Good luck tomorrow, mate.
Bye, mate. Take care.